To the youth who are depending on external substances such as alcohol and drugs to remain so-called happy in their lives, why is this not a permanent solution to get rid of the sorrow and problems that life throws at you? Weed has become legal in so many parts of the world, like New York, and the youth is doing these drugs, to escape depression. Why do you think that's not the solution?
$150 million of intoxicants in terms of wine and all is imported from the other countries because we are not able to produce sufficient supply. Guys, please give us. Crores of rupees of drugs, heroin, etc. They come from the neighboring countries. We have got two friendly countries. One is Pakistan, one is China. Very friendly countries of India. So they supply drugs to India so that the youth, the intelligentsia of India can become dumbo-fied. So that's what is happening nowadays. In the West also we see that in the way to explore. Let's explore. What will you explore, you fool number one? What will you explore? So when there is no knowledge, so exploration becomes a destructive activity. So then in a spree to explore, they also explore drugs. But in this spree, they get intoxicated. And once they get intoxicated, the intelligence becomes bound. When the intelligence is bound, then you cannot really think the way you should be thinking. You cannot do that. So that's why drugs make us ultimately zombies. You've seen zombies? Yeah. So that's a way to make ourselves zombies. That means because the intelligence goes dull. I asked when I was in USA, so I asked my boss's boss. I said, why is it that the jobs, they come to India? He said, because most of the youngsters in USA and Europe as well, they are drug addicts. Because Ohio is in center of America. And that has a mafia for supplying drugs. So all the universities and colleges, they get drugs. And and in case you are not taking drugs, you are abnormal. Come on, man.
Exactly.
You justify your existence in this community when you are taking some kind of intoxicant, which with such hard labor, a regular supply is coming from Ohio. So in this way, drug is supplied, and then youth, they become drug addicts. And that's why many of the jobs, they come from USA to India. Not that American youth, they are not intelligent, but they get intoxicated with this cheap fun. And that's why the jobs, they come to India. Of course, now India is also on the same trail, on the same path. Many of the youth, they are addicted to so many different kind of drugs because they're also exploring. Yes, let's explore and then enjoy. And then they are also becoming zombies nowadays. So that's why, it's a threat to the youth. In order to make them physically weak, mentally weak, emotionally bankrupt, and spiritually far, far away, this is one-stop shop. Make them addicts. So we are to give them spiritual substance. And we see that during Vietnam War, when there was hippie culture and people were addicted to drugs. So such case studies are also there. And such people who are living such irresponsible life transformed into super responsible lives. Wow, what a transformation. So he used to say, well, when you take drugs, you go high, but then you come down as well. And then again you have to take drugs so that you go high, but again after some time you come down. I will give you something by which you can stay high forever. Swamiji, is there something by which we can stay high forever? Yes. And then he gave them Krishna consciousness, this devotion to Supreme Lord Krishna. When he gave them this, and the result was so clearly, tangibly visible, transformed, absolutely purified, and they are living such pure life, getting up in the morning, taking bath, eating pure vegetarian food, offered to the Supreme Lord, chanting of the holy names, caring for others, distributing the holy literature, the holy message. Wow. So just see the transformation. So that's why we have to give them this higher taste. Lower taste would always be captivating us, in case there is no other choice. But when we have the higher taste, naturally one gives up the lower taste. So how can somebody give up the lower taste? By having the higher taste. So drugs, they are having their own taste. Illicit sex is having its own taste. Money, power, post, position, it has its own taste. So we are to give the higher taste, then one naturally, easily, seamlessly, effortlessly gives up the lower taste.
And the very fact that we will not take any fame, money, or relationships with us when we die and leave this body shows that our life purpose is not materialistic success. If so, what is the soul's life's purpose?
The soul's life purpose is to revive our love for God. That's the ultimate purpose. In between, I can have other purposes, like, for example, getting a nice job, taking care of my family, their physical needs, their emotional needs. I should be a very responsible citizen. So that way, these are some mini purposes as well, which we fulfill, and we should do that. Taking care of the health. Yeah. So these are some of the mini purposes which we should take care of. And ultimately, the purpose is to revive our love for the Supreme Lord. So both the purposes are to be taken care of in parallel. And both they nourish each other. In case you are healthy, you can, so that's why then you would see that it is easier for you to execute spirituality. And in case you are becoming spiritual, so you are able to see that your physical health also gets positively impacted by being spiritual. When your mind is good, your physical health also gets positively impacted by your good mental health. And good mental health naturally comes by bhakti, by devotion. So in this way, we see that both the purposes, they mutually nourish each other, they help each other, they support each other, and ultimately we revive the ultimate purpose, which is to revive our genuine, pure, sublime, devotional, ecstatic, euphoric love for Supreme Lord.